the dog collar match, CM Punk and MJF, and one day later, everyone is just stuck talking about CM Punk's entrance. This has
Really?
been a controversy all day with like the people that are making up. Like I think Jesse from let me get his last name so I make sure I credit him properly. Um, he did an entire thread on this thing here where where it's just like the CM Punk music discourse has been a whole thing that's just dominated the day. You know,
I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what you're talking about.
so there was someone that it was basically one of those things like, hey, you know, what is this music? Casual fans don't understand this, and it was like a whole thing. Jesse Collins, he's like, there was a class of people who only really know, and also some folks from Fightful were saying this. So this is a guy named Jimmy Van, I believe, hosts a thing on Fightful, and he said the CM Punk ROH entrance at Revolution is getting a polarizing reaction, in my opinion. If not for Excalibur's explanation, I wouldn't have known since I wasn't an ROH fan back then. This is something Tony Khan still needs to realize. Not everyone gets the indie references. The issue was, you said if not for Excalibur's explanation. That's literally what happened, buddy.
Right. That's what I was getting at, because like I saw a video of it on AEW's Twitter as I was leaving, as I got home, or I got back to the Airbnb after the show, and I heard the commentary of the entrance, and I remember him saying that like this is a callback to Ring of Honor CM Punk. Then he comes out with the gear that CM Punk used to wear, with the basketball shorts and the jacket.
And this is something we talked about in our
So
group chats maybe like a week or so ago, and it was like, imagine if CM Punk comes out in basketball shorts, like,
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. So
Yeah, but that's just a us thing. But like, let's take it to like what you don't know or what you're expected to know or whatever else. Like, the whole entire program has been built around, or not all of it, an aspect of it. A big one was CM or MJF thinking CM Punk is being soft, Cena-like master of ceremonies, and not like a person with any kind of edge, just a white meat baby face, if you will. So he comes out as the voice of the voiceless, with his old heart back to the gear that made MJF a fan in the first place. Like, it's very similar to like when Kingston says to Jericho, "I don't want this guy that we've been getting with the fucking mimosa shit, and like I want the guy that like got respect to Tenryu, right?" Like,
right,
it's the same thing, and then all of a sudden Jericho starts throwing suplexes, right? Like, he comes back looking like the guy that Punk like fell in love with wrestling through. That is the story. So once MJ, or once like you said, once Excalibur says that on the commentary, the end. You
right.
just weren't paying attention.
And I think like it's just pure bad faith. It's pure, you know, I can appreciate it. And flat out, I'm just gonna say fuck it. Like, I love that there's a fact that there's a company that is catering to us or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be quote unquote for everybody or whatever. It's, if you get it, you better speed up because they don't slow down. Like, you know, get it like the Red Cross. Like, how long you been, you know, y'all making up these people that apparently have never watched professional wrestling before, that somehow ordered the AEW pay-per-view, would be confused about this. Stop this. This is cap. This is a bunch of just like dumb shit. It's really become way bigger than
I understand. I understand the wanting to be in on the joke or the thing, but Excalibur put you in on it. If you didn't hear him or listen to him, oh fucking well, that's your fault.
right.
It's
Right.
not the onus was on them to explain it to you. They did. Now it's on you.
Look, and
right?
even if they didn't explain it, like,
I was okay. So I was in. Okay. So for example, we didn't have the benefit of commentary. We're sitting there, right? I have never heard that song before, not once ever in my life.
right.
I don't listen to AFI, right? He comes out. I see the gear at least. I've seen pictures of CM Punk. maybe you never seen pictures of CM Punk back then, right? So maybe that's not
You know
unfair,
how I
right?
don't
Right?
believe
But
this,
let's do this, right?
James?
Well, hold on. Maybe that's unfair that you've never seen pictures of CM Punk from Ring of Honor when he had the blonde hair in the shorts. I'm next to somebody that did know. If you're in the building, right? There are people that are singing the song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm. Do you not talk or listen to the people that are around you? Like, to me, it's almost like when people talk about like don't know or can't pick up like AAVN. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
AAVE, and it's like, hey
It ain't
man,
for
like
you.
that's on you. Use context clues. Figure it out. It's on. Sometimes, like this is life, right? If you don't know the lingo, if you don't know how to talk and behave around people, a certain sect of people, you will lose out. In the same way that and that goes to like when you don't understand things. And like, I'm sorry, like, and maybe I'm going too far down on a tangent or whatever else, but like, hey, like they explain it on the commentary. Most people that are watching this are on commentary. If you were in the arena and understand it, and like you see people, but see other people vibing to it, then sometimes you gotta just shrug your shoulders and roll with it, right?
Catch
Like
the
the
vibe.
Danhausen thing, a lot of people don't get the Danhausen thing, but like they see a lot of people pop for it all the time he shows up, so they do what? They shrug and say, "Hey, well, people love it, whatever." Same thing with Orange Cassidy. Like it is what it is. Like I don't know what to say as far as the CM Punk thing, but
It's like these
it was
people
on
that
commentary. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. I feel like we wasted too much time on this already. But go ahead, Josh. I almost call you Josh. Go ahead, Rich.
they like these people that have been these that have like cast themselves as these WWE historians and like James, like, do you remember the CM Punk Best in the World DVD? That's like one of the biggest DVDs they
Yeah.
ever put out before. Like
Yeah.
I seem to remember seeing CM Punk dressed in basketball shorts and people being able to pick up the context clues of what the hell everything looked like. Sam brought up a great point when they were changing Triple H's music at like WrestleMania 27, and Undertaker was randomly coming out at Johnny Cash at one point. It's like something cool to do. Jesse Collins,
Right.
I'll bring up his point. He said there are maybe a class of people who only really know WWE, maybe WCW, and for a long time those people have felt confident in their wrestling knowledge. In that time, these people would become arrogant because some of them have podcasts, blog sites that have a following. AEW becoming a mainstream entity has exposed these people as knowing less than maybe they presume they did. When AEW does things differently than WWE, it causes confusion. When they find out that they didn't get a reference, they get mad because they're insecure in their knowledge. That mentality leads to the creation of the mythical casual fan, someone so dumb and irrational that they would become irreparably alienated by something as simple as CM Punk's entrance being different. Due to their arrogance, these people assume that since they were confused by the Punk's entrance, the even more less knowledgeable fan must really be confused. Then they make those bad faith arguments about why this is a bad move for AEW. The reality is the less knowledgeable fan didn't give two shits about the entrance. He said
That's true.
he's talked to plenty of them over the few days. He's heard no strong opinions on the entrance. The only complaining about it are the insecure pundits. He also did not know it was ROH music at first. It wasn't until he saw the outfit that he put two and two together, because he's rational and said, "Oh, I get it. It's a throwback," and moved on. So shout out to Jesse Collins. I thought he put that pretty well.
Yeah. A lot of that makes some sense to me. Especially the part um about like thinking that because you don't know something, nobody else will know, and therefore they'll be alienated from it. Like you know me, like I'm on almost on a monthly basis. I'm going through some like dark days of Joshi to try to figure out like what the fuck happened, how did we get here, and like there are things that I learn all the time that like I was totally unaware of and realized and didn't have no idea like what the reference was to what I had watched previously and whatever else. So in between all these, literally a dozen promotions. So yeah, like I yeah, like the part where someone says like, some they in bad faith act like someone will be turned off by this. No, like if you don't want to learn, you don't have to. Like it was a played a cool song. Like at its most basis, at its most simplest form, like they played a new song different than what Punt normally comes out to, and it connoted and it kind of fit the mood of the violence they were supposed to be going into, right? So there's that. Then you find out his song, which I did not know that was his Ring of Honor song because at one, I'd never heard this song for my life. Two, I never watched Ring of Honor before. And three, I could have sworn that at some point in Ring of Honor he was playing Cult of Personality too. So don't had no idea. So whatever. Find out it's another song, cool. Didn't
Right.
need to know that was a song, cool, but cool,
and
whatever.
and this was the reason, like, when I saw that, I was like, this guy fucking gets it. Like CM Punk, Tony Khan figuring it out, because the people that are gonna understand it are gonna
I'm gonna
love it
love it,
even that much more.
right?
And
And
like, I thought it was
there,
incredible.
okay, yeah, and that's the thing with AEW, right? Like, there is a thing to be said about there. There's a thing to be said about trying to, in a most common denominator way, try to pull as many people into watch as possible. But there's also something to say about we're going to try to make something that's not necessarily for everyone, but we're trying to make something for a certain number of people that they'll love. And AEW, more times than not, tends to skew towards we're trying to make things for people to love as opposed to just like.
Right.
They've done it over and over and over again, and there's nothing wrong with that. If it's only for a certain number of people around, so be it. But those people will be with it for a long time compared to something they just like and can drop it.
Well said. Let's get to this fucking great match that we gotta talk